Video, I'm teaching you 8 of my favorite ways to practice mindset, to practice mindfulness, to practice thinking better thoughts. Many people know that being mindful is very important, to having a good mindset is very important, but they don't understand that, like everything, it is a practice. So I'm going to give you 8 of my favorite ways that I use in my own life and I teach my clients. My name is Courtney Gray. I am a body and life coach. Let's dive in. The first one is to identify what thoughts you're working on. So if you want to be more mindful, if you want to have a better mindset, if you want to think better thoughts, because you do know it's important, you know that your positive thoughts make you feel better. You know that when you feel better, you do better in your life, and then you create better results. Amazing. But what are the thoughts that you're working on? What do you want to think on purpose? Sometimes, if you have a hard time thinking about the thoughts you want to think on purpose, the fastest way to get there is to think, what thoughts don't you want to think anymore? And then maybe do the opposite of those. I'm going to give you a few examples of some thoughts you might want to consider is, I can change. I can change, especially for women midlife and beyond. I can change. How about I'm just getting started? That's a thought that I am constantly saying to myself, not from I'm just getting started, but from an exciting, I'm just getting started. Like I am almost 50 next year and I'm like, I am just getting started in terms of my energy and my capacity to live an amazing life, to make bold decisions and to be strong and all the things. Like I'm just getting started. Such a very empowering thought that has really made my life more joyful. And another thought is like, this is the best time for me to do this. So many people, as they get older, all of a sudden they start narrowing down what's possible for them in their life. But what if you're 90 and you decide, you know what, I've always wanted to learn a new language. Now is the best time for me to do this. You know what, I'm 80 years old and I really have been wanting to get healthy. Now is the best time for me to do this. Such a great thought, but it needs to be practiced. So first, we're going to identify the thoughts you want to work on. And now let's dive in. Write down the thoughts you want to think every morning. That is one of my favorite ways to practice mindfulness, thinking on purpose. Write down the thought, this thought that you've decided you want to start thinking, write it down every morning. You can literally write it down on a little piece of paper, or you can get a little journal. And every morning just write, today's going to be a good day. I'm just getting started. And there's a little, it's not just writing it down. Take 3 seconds as you're writing it and believe it. And take a moment and believe it and embody it. That is probably, of all these, one of my favorites. I think at the end I'll give you my, it's probably my twin to this one. One of my favorites for sure. The second one, speak out loud to yourself this thought that you are trying to believe. It sounds ridiculous, but especially if you're in the car by yourself or if you're in the shower, even if you want to whisper because you don't want anyone thinking you're a weirdo, but actually say it out loud to yourself. I'm just getting started. Or how about like, I'm really good at this. Or you know what? I'm really smart. Whatever thought you're really trying to work on, say it out loud to yourself. And again, like when you write it down, take a moment and believe it. Like maybe this is true. I'm telling you, you will find by doing this, after even a few weeks, you will say it differently. You will have more belief as you say it. Let's go to the next one. Set a reminder in your phone. You can either set it as your wallpaper. You can set it as a reminder to pop up on your phone. Like every day at 4 o'clock, tell yourself, I'm getting really good at making good choices. That is an empowering way to remind you. I put this in there. It must be true for me. You could also do a sticky note. So easy. Sticky note on your, well, oh my goodness, I wasn't even planning this, but sticky note on your computer. It says right here, this was not even planned. How fun is this? It's time to have fun and enjoy the process. I wrote this note. You can't really tell, but it's a pretty old sticky note. I know eventually I'm going to have to tape it up on here. I wrote this down when I was feeling like I was working too much. I was working too much and I just felt like I was kind of in lack and scarcity. And I thought, you know what? I need to remind myself that it's time to have fun, enjoy the process. Oh my God, that was amazing. Okay, next one, meditate. right? There's so many people that say, I want to meditate, but then they don't. Meditate for 5 minutes. And this can literally be you sitting down, closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, and saying this thought either out loud or quietly to yourself. That is a meditation. And of course, you're going to start thinking about how you have to defrost the salmon and you can't remember to pay that bill. It's fine. But come back and remember this thought and say, that's right. It's time to have fun and enjoy the process. What would that look like if I was willing to do that? And then we've got 2 more left. Get a coach and tell them these are the thoughts you're working on. Or if you see a therapist, get a therapist and tell the therapist, I'm working on this thought. And let that therapist say, amazing, why is this thought important to you? What would your life look like? What would your life look like if you actually believed this thought, right? So if you are working with someone, tell them this is what you're working on. I went to a hypnotist one time and I told him, I'm really working on this thought. Beautiful. Let's work it into your hypnosis. It was so fun. So get a coach. Join my program. I have a beautiful program. It's called the Aligned Life Membership. It's for women who want to eat better and lose weight, but in a sustainable way they can maintain and get stronger and live happier and practice this mindset, right? So they can come to me and they can say, this is what I'm trying to think. Amazing. And my last one, this is probably, along with writing it down, this is probably one of my favorites. Look for evidence that your thought is true. Here's what I mean. Let me say it again. Look for evidence that this thought is true. Here's what I mean by that is, oftentimes when we have a thought, I'm going to think of one of the most common thoughts some of my clients have when they first come to me, like, it's not possible for me to get in my best health. Like, that's a thought a lot of clients have. And a lot of my clients are anywhere 40 and up, right? And so they just have this idea, I'm in menopause, it's too late for me. It's what society is telling us. And so they have that thought too. And so because they have that thought, that's what they're looking for subconsciously all the time. They're seeing people agree with it. They're feeling validated. They're seeing other people struggling. And it's this, yep, I'm right. I can't have this. I can't get in my best health. So what I want for you to do is if you're practicing, I can get in my best health. I'm 65. I can get in my best health, whatever it is. You need to start looking for evidence that that is true. The cool thing that's going to happen organically, if you start doing any of these, you're going to start believing this thought. This is what mindset is. Your mindset's going to be changing and you're automatically going to start seeing the evidence. But I love the thought of you looking for evidence, looking for people out there that also believe this is true and that are embodying this thought that you want to embody. If I can help you with this, I would love to have you join my program. Again, it's called the Aligned Life Membership. It's for women all over the world who want to feel like every single day they're doing things that are aligned with where they're going. They're doing things that they know they're becoming more and more every day the woman that they want to become at every age. It really is catered to women midlife and up, and it is a group of amazing women. Every week we do coaching. There's courses on weight loss and self-concept and habits and goals and everything. So head to modernbodymodernlife.com/membership, and I would love to have you join us.